Hello everybody. How are we all? Hello Dapper Fox. Dave Hall. Good evening. Nazim. Hello Mark. Pierre Moreau. You. Sue. Holy Diver is here. Hello there. Mike's Painted Minis. Hello. Knight of Zen. Hello, hello. Kurt. Hello. Archaon himself is here. Chunky Memes is here. Stuart Gray. You've been waiting for this. It's a coming. Yes. We're painting Archaon. We are in the midst of doing him. As you can see here. This is where we've got to. I posted a picture of him yesterday of being in progress with the wings. We've got a little bit further today with the man himself. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be filming some tutorial. That's what we're going to be doing, because I really want to get this guy out either tomorrow or Friday for you guys. But if I don't stream, I don't get to show you the work in progress that we're going through. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to try and film a little bit of this, so you get to see a little bit of it. And yeah, we're going to blast through as much as we can of the man himself on the back. And then, can I get a shout out? Of course you can, Alex Powell. Hello Alex. A shout out to you, sir. Here he is. This is where we've got to. I'll show you him in depth, in detail in a minute. But essentially the way the format of tonight is going to work is I'm going to chat to all of you guys. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm then going to film it. And then I'm going to show you when I'm going to do it. So you get to see a little bit of how I make my videos. But also you get to see a little bit of how to paint Archaon. We're doing a lot of the kind of highlights and things on him at the minute. Because the way I've elected to go through this miniature is to paint the wings, then him, then we can move on to Dorgar and the rest of the body. So this video will be coming very, 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 very soon. But yes, I will show you him in the overhead camera in just a moment. But we're going to be painting him live tonight. So I will set up that overhead camera now so I can show you what we've done so far. It's very exciting. It's very exciting times. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely model. All hail George the Dread Legend. George, yes, all hail George indeed. I need to paint his dreadnought. I will get to it eventually. I promise. If you enjoy the stream tonight, make sure you do leave a like on the stream. It lets people know, and YouTube know, that I'm doing a good job and that you're enjoying it. And all of that good stuff. And yeah, let's see if we can get 100 likes on the stream whilst live today. That would be delicious. That would be lovely for me. Right, let's just connect the camera. There we go. Ooh. Are you just gonna be annoying? Is that what you're gonna do? Connect a device. Looks like it is going to be annoying. One moment, gang. Just I don't want to select what happens with this device. I want it to do the thing I told it to. Told it to. Come on now. It's always the technology, isn't it, that fails you when you don't want it to. I know what it's doing. It's being an arse. There we go. So now, I pop this bad boy up here. And I pop over to this scene. You should now get to see Archaon in all his glory. There we go. No. There we go. Stay. There we go. So yes, this is what we've got so far. We have he's now at what I would like to call Warhipster battle ready, and then we also have the wings. They're all done, and we have this area on the back. That's all done. So what we're doing at the moment is we're basically finishing off Archaon, the man himself, and then we're going to move on to Dorgar's body. But essentially, you know, we've got the recipe in here. Now, if we get to it, we'll be able to show you that as well tonight, which would be really awesome. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on him. Looks like you might have a dodgy cable. I have a dodgy USB port is what it is. It's the USB port. It is notoriously annoying. But there we go. Random question, but do you have every Citadel paint? I don't, Nazim. I don't. I'm missing 12 of them. So I'd like all of them, but I don't quite have all of them. So yes. So we're going to be doing him tonight. The next colour, I've just finished off doing all the black armour, so the next colour is going to be all of the gold. So what 12? I'd have to look at my phone for that. There's like Nocturne Green, I think, is one. One of the, I think it's Vulcan Green is another. How do you organise your paints? By type or by colour? Steve, I organise my paints by type and then alphabetically. So all my shades are at the top, alphabetically. All my contrast paints come next, alphabetically. Then my base, then my layers, and my technical and my texture paints are over here on the side. Because, you know, if I'm looking for Celestian blue, I don't want to rummage through every blue I have. I just need to go to contrast paint, which is there, and then Celestian blue, which is there. I literally look for the name. So there's 70 people watching right now. We've got 38 likes on the stream. That's amazing, guys. Awesome. So, as mentioned, I need to basically switch the camera off to film a little bit. And you'll hear me do the voiceover that you normally hear me do in my videos. And then I will switch the camera back on so that you can see me do it. Because I can't put this clip that you can see at home right now into the video because it would look a bit weird. Especially as there would be a downgrade in quality because I'm shooting in 4K and streaming in 1080p. So it would mess with the video a little bit. But yeah, we're going to be doing the gold. So yeah, no pressure. Yeah, right. You get to hear the voiceover, as it always is a case. So it's just like, so with that now done, what we're going to do next is we're going to work on all of the gold, that type of thing. So you get to watch me do that, which is, you know, fun, I think, for you guys. And that's why this arm is currently in the way, because Archaon is so big. Where I normally have it, I couldn't actually place it high enough to get him on camera. So when I have it in the normal place, he was like here, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to shoot this without me having to like hold it in a horrible way like that and paint the wing like this, which would have been horrid. So I've had to move the mount to be on the front of the desk, just so I can get it to look properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop onto the face camera only. That's what we're going to do, and then we're just going to grab this. I'm going to go into my camera. I'm going to pop it up here. Shooting in 4K, 1080, 4K 60F. Yeah. I'm just doing Operative Umbral 6 following your awesome painting guide. Awesome, Adam. That's cool. I like it. Are you enjoying it? I really enjoyed painting him. He's a good dude. He's a good clean dude, that Vindicator. How do you swap scenes while streaming? I just use my mouse. I would love to get a stream deck so that I could just press a button and move on to the right screen. But that's just money, and I don't have that money to spend on that type of thing. So there's a reason why we haven't got any music tonight, is because if I'm filming, I can't have it bleeding through into the thing. Get a stream deck, yeah. I do need to get one, Chunky Memes. I'll get one eventually. Just when I have a little bit more cash. A little bit more cash in the attic, as it were. So, the gold, right? So initially what I've done with the gold is I've done it with Retributor Armor, and then I've shaded it with Agrax Earthshade. Now I think for him, generally you wouldn't have to do this step because all of it is trim. There's not loads of like kind of flat gold surfaces. But what we want to do is we want to brighten up some of the bits that are flattened gold. So there's a couple of them, like for example on his hip, for example, and there's a couple of things like just around on the back, on the saddle and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back in with Retributor Armor again, and I'll demonstrate this for you guys at home as well when we switch back to the overhead for you guys. But I'm going to go back to Retributor Armor just to brighten it up, as you will have seen me done many times before. So there's going to be no pressure here. I haven't thought this part through, having to do the voiceovers live. This is going to be interesting. So as I said, you're not going to see the initial filming, but you will see me actually do it. So I'm just going to grab some of that Retributor Armor. Just going to thin it down with a little bit of water. Grab a little bit more water. Give that a wash. And I think we should do this with a small layer brush. I don't think we'll need anything smaller than that. Where are my small layer brushes? There it is. Right, here we go. So I'm going to hit record up here. So with that Drakenhof Nightshade all applied, as you can see, we've now got this gorgeous blue armor-ish, well, blue-ish armor on the black. It's a really nice sheen that we've got on there. So what we're going to do now is move on, because the black armor is all done. And we're going to move on to painting all of the gold, because this is really going to elevate him and take him to the next level. Now the colour we're going to be using is once again Retributor Armor. And we're going to be using this to brighten up some of the kind of flatter and bigger areas of the model. So we're talking about areas like this little section just up here on the pauldron. We've got some areas around here on the shield. We've got the area just here on the front of the saddle as well. And we've got some stuff there on the back. But ultimately, a lot of these details are quite small, so we can get away with just a highlight. But on these larger bits, we want to just brighten them up just a tiny little bit. So we're going to take that Retributor Armor. And for example, just in there, it's quite difficult to film this. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take that Retributor Armor. I'm going to pop this like this over the top of the flat of the panel like that. And same again, just on this side. And this is just going to brighten it up, make it nice and shiny like we want it. Same again, just there, just skipping over that recess where the Agrax Earthshade has really settled in there. Like so. And we can just move on to the various other little areas that we want to brighten up. So for example, on the shield, got these little kind of flat bits just here. Just want to add a little bit of shine in there. Just like that sort of thing. There we go. So, I will now swap us back onto camo. Okay. You don't have Cabalite green, Adam. Oh dear. I mean, that's not the end of the world. If you've got a green, oh for God's sake, this damn cable, man. Like if it would just connect like how I want it to via Wi-Fi, that would be great. Which it is very much capable of doing. I do film all of my tutorials using my phone, Stephen. It's the cheapest and most powerful camera that I can get. And it makes for a lot easier in terms of ways of kind of the workflow that I have. Because I can just take the footage from iCloud and download it straight onto my computer if it's not already automatically synced. This is just being stupid. Worked perfectly well last week. And now it decides to work. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Right. We can close that. Yeah, no, so I get the most recent, this is an iPhone 14 Pro. So, yeah, anyway, what we're doing is we're doing the gold here. We can probably zoom this in a little bit, actually. There you go. So yeah, we're just doing a little bit of gold here, just to kind of brighten up some of those kind of darker sections that I don't want to be too dark. So that little bit of pauldron, just pauldron? No, what's a hip plate called? Like that. Got a little bit just here. We can add some too. So as you can see, we've done some of this here on the shield. So we're just going to do a little bit more. Just around that rivet. Pop some there like that. A little bit of this. Like so. We've done it there as well, as you can see. So we're just going to probably just leave it there like that. So I'm just going to do this arrow up here. Pop a little bit running down the middle. Like so. That's probably everywhere that we can get done on him. So then we've got those bits on the saddle as well. So we're just going to add a little bit of Retributor armor in here just to brighten it up, whilst avoiding that 8-pointed star that's carved into the metal. Like that. So just adds that little bit of shine to that little armor panel. And then on the back here, we've got this large face that we also need to just add a little bit of Retributor armor to. Just around the kind of the flat parts. Just so that these most obvious pieces don't feel kind of too flat. That's kind of the whole point of this. Because if it's not obviously recessed, but it looks kind of a bit flat, then it's just like, I don't like it. Like that sort of thing. Just adds that little bit of shine in there. Hit plate equals a tacit. I did not know that. 54 likes on the stream. Excellent work, guys. Can we shoot for 100? We're 54 already in. It's impressive work. I like it. I like it a lot. Jack Leach, I love your tutorials, Warhipster. You got me into contrast. Almost finished painting a Bloodthirster largely based off of your guide. One question. Do you prefer Black Legion over Black Templar? Now, yes. I prefer Black Legion over Black Templar for the simple reason of just using it straight out the pot is just much quicker than using Black Templar over the top of a previous cover to get it as black as you want it. With Black Legion, all it takes is Black Legion on its own, and then you can shade it any color you want using one of the new shades, which just really works. It looks really nice. I mean, it's what I've done on this so far. So his skin was Black Legion followed by a wash of Nuln Oil. Which is just a lot quicker than Basilicanum Grey followed by Black Templar, and then probably a little bit more Black Templar here and there. Hey, Dave Morris. Archaon, you remind me of Father from Far Cry. Which one? You've done this before. I have. On your Cabalite Green question, Adam, if you mix a tiny little bit of blue in with Warpstone Glow, you'll get Cabalite Green. A really tiny bit of blue. Quite a mid-blue. Something like Macragge, if you've got that. But just like 2 or 3 parts Warpstone Glow and then one little bit of Macragge Blue, you'll get something close to Cabalite Green. I have a song stuck in my head. It's the intro song from your Demon Prince video. Shazam won't pick it up. Any ideas? I can find out for you. I can go and look it up. Oh God. What is going on? Hang on. Why has this suddenly appeared? That's not been there the whole time, has it? Recent downloads. Good evening, Dan Buster. I'm very much interested in Call of Duty. I really want to get the new one. God, how do I... My count. Subscriptions. Browse. No. Just browse.
Anyway, it was Metal Song. So if I go to my own YouTube channel, and go to your channel, and we go to how to paint the new Demon Prince. Give myself a view. That one. Wasn't that? There was a way to do saved downloads. Ah, haha. When did I release that video? Wasn't that one? That one. There we go. I think I found it. The song is called Sooner Than You Know by Carvings. And you can find it on Epidemic Sound. Found it. It's the kind of service that we provide. Thank you for your awesome videos on YouTube. You've inspired me to paint my upcoming Tau army with contrast purple. That's awesome, Soldier Access Gaming. I'm very glad to help. So would you use Black Legion to paint Black Templars or still prefer the Shyish purple/Black Templar combo? I mean, either could work. You could still use Black Legion and then shade it with Druchii Violet. I would probably still go down that route, but I would probably do it kind of possibly like that. You've used Artist Opus Series S to paint with contrast paint. How do you clean the brushes afterwards to not ruin it? I don't really clean my brushes very often, but what I do is I use this paint cleaner from Artist Opus from Instar Paint. It's really good stuff. They've got deep clean, a normal clean, and a soap conditioner. In fact, I can just show it to you. So here we go. So it comes in 3 parts like that. Soap plus cleaner, soap plus deep clean, soap plus conditioner. You just literally pop it in the deep clean, and in 10 minutes it's ready to just pull out any paint that's trapped in the ferrule, if there is any. Then you just pop it in the cleaner and it'll get rid of all of that kind of dispersed paint, and then you pop it in the conditioner and leave it overnight, and it'll and put it in the tip that you want it to be in, and then it'll be all good. It'll be all good to go. Right, show us your progress. Here we are, Dan Buster. This is where I've got to. So we've just done a Retributor armor layer on some of that gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight it now. The colour I'm going to use to highlight it first, I think, is going to be Liberator Gold. This brush wants to say hello. I'm going to use it. I think Liberator Gold. We don't want it to be too bright, that's the thing. And then we want to add a little spot highlight. So I think Liberator Gold followed by Storm Host Silver is probably the way to go forward. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, do you just want to say your vids are great? I'm following your tutorial for the Ogroids, currently shaping up nicely and soon be ready to take some skulls, all thanks to your inspiration. Well, thank you very much, Barricade13. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. It's very, very kind of you. I'm glad to help any way that I possibly can. And after you've done your Ogroid Theridans, you'll eventually be able to watch how to paint Archaon. And when you do paint Archaon, you'll have a whale of a time like I'm having. So I'm just going to grab a pile of Liberator Gold here. I want loads and loads of this, because we're going to be here for a while, I suspect, because there's a whole lot of gold. So I'm just going to thin it down with a little bit of water. This one brush, maybe two. No, that will be enough. Right, here we go. Ready to see another voiceover, gang? That was an intentional one. So we're going to do another voiceover. Get out of here, you. Right. Okay. So, here we go. Move that just out of the way. So with that Retributor armor reapplied to those areas that we talked about, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. And we're going to use this to pick out all of the edges on all of our gold details. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. You just want to go steady. Take it section by section. And just very carefully pick out the edges. I'm going to start here on the shield as I have done throughout the rest of the video. And then what you're going to see is once all this is on, it's going to elevate the model. As is often the case with Chaos. Once you get all that trim highlighted, it starts to look very nearly done. There we go. Gotta connect it again. Goodness sake. There we go. Something about the way you hold a brush in your mouth, it pleases me. I'm glad. Dave Morris, thank you very much. Hipster, what do you recommend for some nice highlight colours for Wildwood? Keep up the great channel, bud. All hail the king of contrast. You're very kind, Dave Morris. Really good highlight colours for Wildwood. I often think Baneblade Brown is really good. And then Karak Stone can also look really nice. Another one that's quite subtle is Steel Legion Drab. Looks really nice as a highlight over Wildwood. Yeah, those ones are generally good. If you want to go a little bit warmer, you can use something like Gorthor Brown. And you want to go even warmer than that, you can go Deathclaw Brown, but it would look a bit weird at that point. But yeah, I hope that helps. Right, let's get on with highlighting. This is going to take a little while, as I mentioned in my voiceover, as you were all privy to hear it. So we're just going to, here we go. So I'm starting here. Oh my, these are some Diddy highlights. A little too much paint on the brush there. Doesn't that shield start to look awesome? I'm very well, Tolrix. How are you? Thank you, Adam. How are you? Are you off work now? It's just disconnected again, isn't it? It's going to be annoying tonight, I think. Trying to do something new. Internet just decides to give up. Oh, I just lost a bird. That was one bend too far. Does that go on? Oh, that'll be easy to repair. Okay. Well, we lost the bird.
Has the stream died? Let me try something. One moment, gang. Why are you being so difficult? Right, it should stop freaking out now. Whew. Should we get some? Nah. We'll be right. We can close that for now. We've done the shield. So we can move on to the rest of the gold. There we go.
A full year, Jack, as a member. You're an absolute hero. No, thank you so much, Jack. But apparently we disconnected for a second there, but we should be back up. I'm hoping to get to that later tonight, Dambuster. There is going to be a video on this Vicious Goose. Yes, I'm filming it as we speak. I'm going to come back to that shoulder pad. I want to do this one. This is going to be one of those. There's a whole lot to do. You see what I mean? The highlights on the trim. The whole thing just starts to come together. And such a prominent detail on them, that's why. But look at that. Don't forget the maggots. Where are the maggots? On the Nurgle head. Are there maggots? The Demon Magnus video is coming, Jack. I promise. Generally, towards the end of the year, I find myself in this situation where I'm slowing down and I've got a lot more time on my hands. And it's usually at that time where I just go, do you know what? I'm going to try and do X, Y, and Z in a short period of time. And I've currently got Archaon as one of those things. Croak as another one of those things. Catacross as another one of those things. And Magnus the Red. Oh, I'm well aware of that, Chalk Demon. But for that, I'll need someone to buy me some Varangard. Does anyone here want to buy me some Varangard? I've got a bit of dust here, and that's going to make things annoying. Got it? Because we've got tiny little runes here to highlight now. So now comes the slightly awkward part. Is we've now got to highlight that pauldron from this angle. You see? Oh, dear me. Nearly there, guys. Here we go, nearly there. Did I do the bottom leg? Yes. We just got this back piece to do. Here. There we go. All of the gold. It keeps dropping out, and I think I know why. Because I think it's trying to connect to my personal hotspot. So I'm going to pop this on airplane mode. And we can go back to camo. There we go. No, that's very, very kind of you, AJ. Thank you very much for that. That's very, very kind of you. Yes. Let's pop here. So as you can see, the gold is all now nice and bright and shiny. Starting to look nice and chaosy. Wouldn't you agree? So in just a moment, we're going to add a little bit of Stormhost Silver in there as our little spot highlight on the sharpest points. We've got 79 likes on the stream,
ladies and gentlemen. 79 likes. That's the quickest we've ever got there. Thank you so much. But can we get to 100? We got 80 likes on the stream. Can we get to 100? Can we do it? 88 likes on the stream. You guys are killing it. You're smashing it out there. Now, can we raise £100? No, I'm joking. What contrast is that on the wings, Agaros Dunes? No. So, on the wings, what we've done is we've done some thinned down Agrag Zershade, followed by some followed by some Seraphim Sepia, followed by a couple of layers of various different thinnedness of Wildwood, and then it's been dry brushed. Dry brushed with Rakarth flesh, and then dry brushed with Pallid Witch flesh. That's how we've managed to get that effect. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I think they look awesome. That blend is one of my best, I think. I'm very pleased. How's the Golden Demon entry, sir? It's not going very well because I had to order some blue foam because I changed my mind a little bit on it. And I promise you, you will see more of it when the blue foam arrives. Because you guys have seen Sharp, right? Has anyone here seen Sharp? Because I thought about doing, stone cairns, and then I wanted to put them at the top of a cliff. So I want to build it up in terms of thingies. I find the extra time I spend painting some bits that might not be seen is far less than what I save by not having to do brush gymnastics and sort out loss or mistakes. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. There's an argument to be made. Leaving him off would have been a better choice. But I didn't do that. You know me. I get my blood up. Someone tells me it can't be done, and then I have to do it. Oh, he's looking so good. I'm so pleased with how this is going. Right. After I've done this Stormhost Silver, what do you guys want to see next? I'll leave the choice up to you. Cape or sword? Or horns? Your choice. Cape, sword, or horns? Chalk Demon says sword. 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 Kataro, you're calling me a beauty. You're a beauty. You're a beauty yourself. Sword, 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 sword. Horns. Okay, we'll do the sword after we've done the gold. So what I need to do is I need to take some Stormhost Silver. All I can hear is Eddie Izzard saying cake or death. Oh yes, but to finish my point about Sharp, you remember when Teresa leaves us? They bury her on that little hillside in the stone cairn with this, piled up stones. That's what I want to do. I want to do that.
So I thought about building up, because I played around with it a little bit more, and I thought having the tree as the single point of verticality just made it look really flat. So I needed to add some land forming in, and then I thought, well, what if I build it up so that we've got like 2/3 of it is like the top of a cliff, and then we put some nice rock forms in there, and then we put some stone cairns at the top and drive the las guns in. That was my thought. Stormhost silver. Probably needed another little half thing. Heads. Says Special K. You want to see the skulls? All right. Or apparently I'm not. Apparently it's just going to disconnect. And we're back. Or are we? I don't know what's going on here tonight. Right, let's film this. Let's film this mother. So with that Liberator gold all applied, as you can see, that gold's taken a massive leap forward. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish it off by taking some thinned down Stormhost silver. I'm going to apply this to the sharpest points in all of our gold, just to give it a real little bit of a shine. So just up here, for example, on the shoulder pad, that little corner there, on the shield, just there as well. Just like this. You're all being very kind. But yes, I do generally tend to just sit very still as I'm filming, because I'm trying to hit the mark so that you guys can see it as well as I can. So here we are. We're just using that Stormhost silver. Just like this. Picking out those sharpest points. Of which there is always an absolute ton on Chaos Miniatures. getting close to doing the gold. There we go. Oh no, not quite. There we go. What do you think? Oh. 91 likes on the stream. You guys are awesome. John Barber, that's very kind of you. I don't think they'll end the Lord of the Rings stuff at any time soon, my friend. I think it's all good. I think it's very safe. Right, let me look at this sword. Okay. There's a bit of red in there. A lot of orange. And quite a bit of yellow. Into the yellow highlight. Okay. So, it stands to reason then that we need a red that we can blend in. But we want to thin that red because we don't want to destroy too much of that orange. So that orange, if Gryph-hound orange is the top coat, then we should get some Blood Angels red and we should thin it down with contrast medium. By 4 parts, I think. It's quite nice of you, John, but my name's not Dave. My name's Josh. But you can call me Dave if you want to. Yeah, I see. I think with Lord of the Rings, they've I mean, Battle for Osgiliath is out / coming out. It's a new version of a game they've had for now going on 15 years. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't know if they'll get anything in terms of Rings of Power, that type of thing. But I'm gonna need this as well. Contrast medium. Just did a bit of reading up on Archaon. Oh my days. Yes, he has had a long and storied history. Right. So, Blood Angels red and contrast medium. So what we want is a good size dollop of Blood Angels red. A little bit more of that. That'll be a full brush. Yes. I need to update my mixing brush. And then we're going to want 1, 2, 3, and 4 blobs of contrast medium. And then we're going to mix it together to make a super thin red. It's alright, John, don't you worry about it, my friend. Right, we need a small layer brush for this, I think. What have I done with it? I lost it again. I always lose this brush. Medium. Is that it? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do one half of the sword and then I'll show you the other half. Make sense? Cool. So we'll drop onto... Have you ever tried dropping drops from the caps? No, I haven't. I did think about picking up a pipette. And I might still do that at some point. And then just, you know, find an appropriate size pipette as well. I think that's the main thing. Oh God, I'm knocking everything over. Move that out of the way. Right. So it's 4 parts contrast medium to 1 part Blood Angels Red. That's what I said. Right. So with that done, all of our gold is now finished and it looks absolutely fantastic, even if I do say so myself. So what we're going to do is move on now, and we're going to move on to the sword blade as voted for on the live stream that we're currently on right now. Wave hello to everybody on stream if you're watching at home. So we're going to be moving on to the sword blade here, and the colour we're going to be making is a roughly 4 parts contrast medium to 1 part Blood Angels Red. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint this all the way along the blade, and then we're going to lift off some of that excess so we get that nice blend across that kind of central section of the blade. So I'm going to take that Blood Angels Red. I'm going to start down here at the base like this, and we're just going to paint this all the way up. It's nice and thin, as you can see, and we're going to paint it over the other side as well, like that. And then we're going to wash the brush, and then just down the middle of the blade, basically going to lift it off. Just like that. And then we can build up that Blood Angels Red a little bit more if we want to, along the sides. Like that, and just make sure to keep some of that original Gryph-hound orange right down the middle. We want to accentuate that central section of the blade. Just there like that. There we go. It's darkened down a little bit. Don't worry, we're going to be darkening it down even more. I'm going to demonstrate you what I just did here on the back side of the blade. So we took that Blood Angels Red, painted it like this. Over the top. Washed the brush. And then just down the middle. Lifted it off. Like that. And then just took a little bit more and then just built it up along the edge. Like that. So I think I'm going to have to do it again. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more Blood Angels Red in there. Probably test it out on the back in just a minute. Yeah, actually, a half amount. So I'm going to make up that mix now. So I'm just going to go 1 and 2. And then 1 Blood Angels Red. Should be dry now. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts contrast medium to 1 part Blood Angels Red. And we're going to do almost the same thing, however, we're going to keep it towards the sides. And then, of course, if we do get a straight line, we're just going to blend it in a little bit. So we're going to take that Blood Angels Red. I'm going to add this like this, coming up the side of the blade. Like that, all the way to the top. Then we wash the brush. And then, where the 2 colours meet, we're just going to blend it. Like that. You can do this as many times as you like with this mix now, because it's sufficiently thin enough that it will get down to a nice colour. So I'm probably going to do this twice. Just like that. There we go, you can see it's starting to come together. Do the same thing on the back here. There we go. I'm going to do my second layer on the other side, as mentioned in the voiceover. So we can close that off for now. What we are going to do in just a minute is we're going to do some cheeky little layers. I think we need a bit of Troll Slayer orange on there, but I think we need to thin it down quite a bit with water to make it into a glaze. Yeah, I think that is what we need to do. Yeah. So that violently bright orange. So I'm going to take one, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 droplets of water to make it lethally thin. Yes. It's very, very thin. Yes. So I'll demonstrate this on the back here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that sort of 5 parts water to 1 part Troll Slayer orange mix, and across the middle of the blade we're just going to add it in. Just like that, to kind of set the groundwork for the highlight. Like that sort of thing. You're very welcome, Javier. 101 likes on the stream. There we go. That's awesome. Thank you very much, guys. You guys rule. So, we've done this the other way around, but now I'm just going to film this bit. Are you enjoying the stream, guys? Look at all those paints. Does this format work for you? So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to create a glaze of Troll Slayer orange, and we're going to take 4 or 5 parts water to 1 part Troll Slayer glaze. That's the mistakes I always make. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to create a glaze, and it's going to be some Troll Slayer orange mixed with some water, roughly 4 or 5 parts. So 4 or 5 parts water to 1 part Troll Slayer orange. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint this over the top of that middle of the blade, just to really kind of add a little bit of warmth in there and prep the ground for when we're going to do our highlight in just a moment. So we're just going to take a small amount of this on our brush, and as you can see, it's extremely thin. And what we're going to do is we're just going to run this along that kind of central line of the blade, like that. And do this on the other side as well. Like this. I'm just going to bring it all the way down. Like that. Now if you've got too much of an obvious line, you can, like with the contrast medium stuff, you can just come in there with a clean brush and just smooth it out just a little bit. Like that. If you want to, you can build it up. Add another little bit more in there. Really, this part is just entirely up to you. What do you mean, Javier? How much time it'll take? Because so far, it has taken me what time is it? It is 20 past 10. So it has taken me about, I want to say 18 hours I've spent on this. I really like the made to order Archaon and I really want to get it, and I did think about picking it up and then painting it before this one, but it would take 180 days to get here, allegedly, the maximum amount of time. I really want it though. Again, just I don't have 30 quid lying around to buy it, so if someone wants to donate me 30 quid to buy Archaon, you absolutely can. But yeah, I really like it. It's a classic model. It just looks fantastic. I love that model. I adore it. Oh. So, the next thing to do will be to take some Fire Dragon Bright and do a highlight. This is going to be the hardest bit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do Fire Dragon Bright, then a little bit of Uriel Yellow. A little bit of Uriel Yellow on the sharpest points, and then I'm going to blend the whole thing together using some Fugan Orange. That's my plan. But for now, we're going to use some Fire Dragon Bright. I shall demonstrate all of that to you in just a moment, after I've done it for the folks at home who aren't here tonight. God. Get out of the way. Javier, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much for the 20. Ever tempted to paint via sub-assemblies? Oh yeah, all of the time. Often the times I don't need to though. So with that Troll Slayer orange glaze applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Fire Dragon Bright. I'm going to apply this as a highlight to all of our edges on the blade. Now don't worry if this is a little bit stark. It will be in some places. However, we are going to be blending it all together towards the end. For now, just want to take this Fire Dragon Bright very carefully now. Pick out all the edges. It's not going to work. I have to draw it. Ugh. Sometimes if the flat of the blade is protruded enough, you can just get it from the side. But in this instance, I'm going to have to draw it. It's like if you take most of the paint off, you can like sometimes just about get it. There you go, that's the angle of the dangle. Do you have any tips for batch painting? Yes, I do. The best thing for batch painting is to limit your table to just being the batch that you're working on. So let's say you've got 30 intercessors to paint. What you don't want to have is all 30 of them in front of you, because that looks like a huge task and you won't be able to shake it. What you want to do is you want to have whatever the size of the batch you're going to paint them in. Now you might want to paint them in batches of 30, but I would suggest doing them in batches of 5, because this way, if you have them in batches of 5, you can manage your own perception of your task. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to not go overboard with how big your batches are going to be. So if you think you can paint, let's say, 20 models in a batch without getting bored, you're probably more likely going to be able to do it in batches of 10. And that's not a question of your skill as a painter. That is a question of climbing the mountain, because that's what it can feel like sometimes when you're painting a batch, is that you're scaling a mountain. So I would always halve what you think you can do, because I do it all the time. I always go, right, I'm gonna jump in. I'm going to start by painting these 10 fire warriors, let's say. And then invariably, I get bored, because I get to a colour that I can't face doing 10 times. It's typically a metallic, because metallics are the most traditional kind of classic paint that I use. I do a lot of highlights, sure, but I don't, generally tend to do like my base coats with a base or a layer paint. So when it gets to the metallic section, usually I'm just like, ugh, I can't be asked to do 10 guys worth of gold. So that's why I always kind of recommend sort of halving the amount that I think I can do. The other thing I would recommend if you're solidly batch painting is if you want to do highlights, I'd recommend figuring out within the scheme if there is a way of getting away with just spot highlights. So for example, if you're batch painting Blood Angels, you can absolutely get away with just doing a little bit of Fire Dragon Bright on the corners. You don't have to do all of the Evil Sun Scarlet and things like that. There we go. Sword is all highlighted. Your mic is cutting out. Is it? Is that because I was talking too quietly and I was talking in the wrong direction? Is that better, guys? Is that better? Or is my mic now failing me as well, like my camera has on several occasions? So yes, what was I saying? I was giving tips for batch painting. So yeah, basically like limit the amount of size of batch and try to limit the amount of highlights you're going to be doing. Mike is great now. Oh, excellent. It's because I was over here doing this and I was whispering very quietly whilst I was trying to concentrate. What time are we on? It is 10:30. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the sword and then I'm going to call it a day. But what do you think of that sword so far, guys? John, are you leaving? Oh, thank you very much for hanging out, and thank you very much for your kind words. But what do you think of that sword, guys? I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that looks pretty dope. I'm questioning what to do as that spot highlight. Because I think Uriel Yellow might be a little too bright and stark. Oh, not gone just yet. Excellent. Glad to keep you. Glad to hold on to you. Yeah, I'm worried that this might be a little bit too stark. But then it is going over Fire Dragon Bright. So it should be fine. Because any brighter than that, it would be too much. And any darker than that, it'll look sort of weird. Any tips for getting those perfect lines on the cloak? And also, might you do a Vermin Lord in the future? I may well do a Vermin Lord in the future. Oh yeah, I was talking earlier about my having some space and time to do stuff. One of the other things is Thanquol Bone Ripper, if Kataro is still here. Right. Uriel Yellow it is then. You guys have convinced me. I'll just sit next to... Yeah, should be fine. Especially if I'm going to glaze it together. I've just got an orange on a brush, and I know that if I don't clean it off now, I'm going to end up smushing it onto Archaon. Just clean that off. Here we go. All right. Wish me luck. And yes, I'll give you some tips on getting those straight lines in just a moment. But I'm going to do this, and then the sword is done. No, it's not. Got to do the glaze. Literally just mentioned that, didn't I, Josh? Come on now. It's been a long day. Long day of painting Archaon. The ever chosen. Just pop that over that way a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So with that Fire Dragon bright highlight applied, as you can see, we've now got this really nice sort of almost glow effect on the blade. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Uriel yellow. I'm going to add this to the sharpest points on the blade. So we've got the very tip of the sword like that. And then we're just going to bring it down just a little bit. Like that. And like that. Same again on the central part of the blade. Bring it down just a little bit. Kind of like that sort of amount. And then on everywhere else, so for this example, those little spikes and things, we're just going to pop a little dot of this on the absolute sharpest point. Just like that. And similarly on these kind of areas. Just like that. Do you reckon going as far as white? Yeah, okay. I'll add a dot of white to the very tip. You'll see what I mean just a second. If you look here, that's what we've done. So I'll demonstrate it again on the opposite side, as we've done so many times this evening with the Uriel yellow. So on these little bits, just added some little dots like that. Whereas on the tip of the blade, came down like that. And pop it there, little dot there, little dot there. Like so. And then just need to add a little bit towards this kind of section just here. Oop, a little bit of an overlap there. that got it. Like so. Okay, we're going to add a little dot of Corax white on the tip. Have you ever dabbled in 3D printing? Do you know what, William? I'd love to dabble in 3D printing for some terrain stuff, but I don't own a 3D printer. I don't have the money to buy a 3D printer. And so that kind of stumps me a little bit. What I might do is I might sell a model or two to try and buy a 3D printer in order to create some really cool terrain pieces and stuff like that, and then paint them up. But yeah, it's something I would like to do. It's just, I don't really have the time. Not time, I just don't have the funds. Because, I don't want to buy a sort of crap 3D printer. I want to buy a good one. One that will not fail me if I'm relying on it to be a video on like a Wednesday or something. Oh shit. Oop. A little bit of water here. There we go. Cool. So we're just going to add a little dot of white at the very tip, and then I'm going to put the new Fugan orange over the top of all of it, and then it'll be done. So I'm going to go to face camera. You'll be able to see what this looks like, because it's literally just going to be a case of dot and dot. So with that Uriel yellow applied, we're then going to take a teeny tiny dot of Corax white. We're just going to add this at the very tip of the blade, like that. Make sure you do it on the back as well, just to really strengthen it up on both sides. Like so. Yes, straight lines. So a really good way of doing straight lines, Mega Miniatures, is to basically, if you're going to draw a straight line, let me think how's the best way to demonstrate this without doing it on Archaon, because I don't need to do a straight line on Archaon. The best way to do it is, okay, hang on. So, so we just pop him to one side just for the moment. So the best way to do it is the easiest. So if I'm saying like I want to draw a straight line that goes from here down to here, it's always going to be slightly more difficult if I'm just trying to freehand it, right? So if you think how you hold a pencil, I'm right-handed, I hold a pencil like this. If I'm going to draw a straight line, I would try and draw it like that, right? And you can see no, it's not rude, don't worry, buddy. You reminded me, and I need reminding sometimes. So like if I'm going to draw a straight line from here to here, as you can see, if I just try and do this freehand by myself, I will probably wobble. Yes, I wobbled around about here now, and I'm not looking, I'm watching it on the camera, right? So I'm just going to go like this, and I wobbled there and there, and then wobbled again. So the easiest way of doing it is to, and this is a really rough demonstration, but if you're going to draw a straight line over this, right, you need something to aim for. So I would put a dot there of the color that I'm going to be using. So in this case, that's just Baraknar Burgundy. And I would put a dot there of Bugman's Glow. It's the same color. If I'm doing a white line, it would all be white. So I'm going to put a dot there and a dot there. And then it becomes much easier for me to go, right, so I want to connect the dots. So I'm going to start from here. And I'm just going to draw my straight line like that. So just like that. Whereas take that away, it's a little bit more unsure. Same in this kind of direction. So we got dot to dot. So it's just a lot easier to draw a straight line when you've got something to aim for. So that's the best way. That's the tip I can give you for doing straight lines. If you want to see how I do that, a similar thing to how I do that, you can check out the Night Abominant tutorial where I did that, I think. And another good tutorial is the Ogroid Therodons, where I do some, not straight lines, but curved lines and stuff by doing that exact thing, by drawing in the dots and placing my destinations here and there. Because it just makes a lot easier to do. Right, here we go. Last paint of the evening, Fugan Orange. And we're going to paint this over the top of the blade. And I've done it again. I'm going to put my brush in paint. And it's the handle. You don't want that. I'm just going to wipe it off because I'm not using a painting handle and I don't want to put my hand in it and then put my hand on it. Right. So we need the medium layer brush. There it is. And basically what I'm going to do now is, oh, I didn't show you the white dot. There you go. There it is with the... It dropped out for a moment there. So I didn't do it. But yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new Fugan Orange and just on this back part of the blade, we're just going to add this, a really small amount, over the top of everything that we've just done. And that will just smooth it all together how we like it. Like that. God, that looks great. I'm so happy. You should be back now, Dan Buster. Right. And so with that done, what we're now going to do is finish off the blade by taking a small amount of Fugan Orange. I'm going to apply this over the top of the entirety of the sword. This is just going to smooth together all of our colours and just make them all feel a little bit more part of the scene. Just like that. You only really need about half a brush full. Like so. $110 likes on the stream. Can we get to 200? No, we can't. But yeah, I think we're probably nearly good to go. Let me just show you where we've got to on old Archaon. Now, bearing in mind, I'm going to be doing even more of this evening. So here he is. So we've done all of the gold. We've done that sword blade. So all that remains on the main man himself is those horns, the skulls, and we've got that saddlecloth in there. But I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is because I really like it. It's snakebite leather with a bit of Agrax shade over the top. I think it looks sufficiently dirty. So we've got the silver, the horns, the skulls, and the red details to do. And then he is done, and then it is time to move on to the main man. Well, not the main man, he's the main man. I'm going to move on to the Dorgar himself. So, this video may make it to tomorrow, but I doubt it because it is 11 o'clock. And I don't think I'll get it done in time. So, and what I might do is I might not put a video out tomorrow, and I might put this guy out on Friday because I'll definitely get it done by the end of tomorrow. That's my plan. Mike Seaton, I'm painting my first models, Sisters of Science, using your tutorial as a basis. They're looking really awesome. Just wanted to say thanks. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for enjoying the video. I'm really glad you like it. But yeah, what do you guys think? Archaon, the ever-chosen, the Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse, is nearly 2/3 done. If we just do it from there, he almost looks like it's a painted Archaon. That sword looks awesome. Thank you for that tip on the white. I'll be sure to mention that. There we go. So, we're going to leave it there for tonight. I'm going to go and recharge. I'm going to eat some Maltesers. And I shall return next week with another hobby stream. Thank you so much for all of the donations. It's very, very kind of you. 115 likes on the stream. It's incredible. Thank you very much. Now, do make sure you look out for this video coming on Friday. If it gets out on Friday, I'm hoping it will. If it's not looking like it will, then there'll be a video on how to paint these Archaon Warhawks that I did. So I'll finish those bases as well. If it's not looking like it'll get done for Friday, and it will in fact be Saturday, then you'll see that video tomorrow. In fact, you might see that video tomorrow anyway, and you might just get Archaon on Saturday. I haven't decided yet. But yes, when it does come out, I want everyone to watch it several times and tell everyone how great it is. I want it to be the biggest, most impressive video that we've done on the channel so far, because it's the biggest and most impressive model that we've done on the channel so far. It's comfortably the tallest by far. But yes, hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I will see you all next week for another hobby stream. Hopefully we'll be doing some more on my Golden Demon diorama. If that blue foam turns up, I'll be carving out a hill for everybody and not just me. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I will see you all very soon. Happy wargaming, one and all. You guys are legends, and I love each and every single one of you. Ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.